Hey, it's Sarah from Hot on the Street. I'm here with Amanda. Thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I feel like it's a special occasion for both of us. It's the 15th anniversary of Hot on the Street. You're releasing your first book, Toxic Grit. You're also engaged, so we have a lot to celebrate.
I know. I feel like we should have champagne here for us. We need a toast.
Well, speaking of endorsements, I think it's pretty cool that Whitney Port has supported your book because I actually launched my website based on the hills. So it's great that you have that.
I feel like the Hills raised us. If you were born in the 80s or 90s, the Hills were there getting me through college. So the fact that I got to meet Whitney later in life while I was building my last startup and being on her podcast and getting to know her and how she approaches work and motherhood, she's just been an inspiration for me in her vulnerability and how she shares everything she's going through.
Definitely. I feel like a lot of the drama on that show sort of overshadowed what I liked about it, working in LA and the media side of things.
Yeah.
What do you think that Hollywood gets right or wrong when they talk about ambitious women?
The thing Hollywood gets wrong over and over again is creating binary constructs of characters or archetypes that, oh, if you're an ambitious woman, then you're not also silly or soft or maternal or passionate or free spirited. And if you are in this like if that's like one side of this binary pendulum, on the other side it's the like, oh, trad wife movement, and you must be at home taking care of kids. And we need more of the and in Hollywood. The person who's building $1 million business and is enjoying being a mother. I think there's been such a pitting against each other of the stay-at-home mom versus the working mom. And I think we've got to really kind of deconstruct that, because most women live in that messy middle of people who want to be successful, have financial independence, have just like independence in general outside of who they are as a mom or a partner.
I agree. I definitely feel like you should try to be a consultant to Hollywood about how to feature smart women in a less cringeworthy way.
I'm all ears. My DMs are open.
I want to get your hot take on some advice that I've heard for women lately because it makes me really mad and I want to know what you think about it.
Okay.
The idea is that you should clean your house or try to grow your social media presence while you're watching your favorite movie or TV show. What do you think about that?
Look, I am a believer in giving 100% of the to the thing that's in front of me. So if that is my kids, my phone is away. I'm not trying to juggle email, Slack. I'm there. I'm being a present mom. If I'm working, I'm making content, I'm writing my book, like I am 100% focused on the thing in front of me. If I'm on the couch watching Love Island, I am 100% on the couch watching Love Island. And I think so much of burnout is happening because we are letting these different versions of ourselves, and this is what my book is all about. We're letting these different versions of ourselves seep in, and we don't get to actually feel satiated in the thing that we're doing. When I'm cleaning my house, like I actually kind of love it. And so it's my like Sunday morning ritual where I'm going around, I'm cleaning everything up, and I've got music on and I'm just in it. So if we allow ourselves to give 100% to the thing in front of us, I think we'd feel less guilt when we transition to the next thing, because we know we gave 100% to the thing that we just did.
I agree. And I'm glad that you mentioned music. I feel like that's much more motivating, especially for cleaning. And it bothers me that women are given this advice because I don't think that you would address a male audience and say, you should optimize your LinkedIn profile while you watch James Bond because it's absurd.
No, or play video games, which is like what I think is the male equivalent of me watching like a reality TV show. It's like, you wouldn't be like, hey, while you're doing that, can you also think about the 18 things you need to do for your career? No, they're like fully immersed.
I agree. So, another hot topic that I wanted to discuss with you, because of course we're in the middle of wedding season. And so, in terms of productivity, how can couples stay focused on their career leading up to the wedding, even if they've hired the best wedding planner?
Oh my goodness, this is so great. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I've planned over 100 weddings. I had a 10-year career in the wedding industry, where I led marketing at the Knot and worked for a celebrity wedding planner. And it's funny because I've seen a lot of different types of couples. And at the end of the day, what I'll say is remember that you're not just planning for one day, you're planning for a marriage and a life together. And you're planning a wedding is like training wheels for so many things in marriage, right? You have to work through family drama. You have to work through how we're talking about finances. And I think it's a great opportunity to build those skill sets. And then it's like you need those skill sets in life in general. So for me and my partner, we have a Friday finance weekly from 12 to 1 where we sit, we have lunch, we talk about finances. Okay, well, that's when we talk about the budget for the wedding as well. So I always say, think about the wedding as kind of the training wheels for your marriage and start building kind of systems and tools to figure out how you can talk about these things that are going to be ongoing things like family drama. How do you talk about that in a way? What do you do when you get to at a fork in the road and one person wants to go one way and one wants to go the other? Like learning the skill sets and the tools will help you kind of not burn out because you're thinking about it as a marathon, not a sprint.
I love how you mentioned your weekly finance check-in. I'm also curious because I know that you grew up with a family where money was tight. Same thing with me. I have a single mom. And now that you've become more successful, how do you decide what's worth spending money on, whether it's the clothes you wear or you're growing your business? How do you think about that?
Mm. The funny thing is, the more successful I get, the more I spend my money on the business than myself. I have a few areas of life that I'm willing to splurge on, like a personal trainer. I get like a quarterly facial, like things like that. But I am wearing a sweatshirt that was given to me by Yahoo because I write for them, and I there's certain categories that just, if I look at the return on that investment, clothes, I drive a 2014 Honda, like those things don't have a return. But if you look at like my budget for my book launch and what I'm spending, because I believe that there is a flywheel, if the book is successful, that leads to more opportunities and more, ways to make money. So I now look at things in more of an abundance mindset, but also as a flywheel. Does this money have a potential return on the investment?
I think that's super interesting. And of course, we're here because you've become so successful over time. And what I love when I look back at your career is how you used to work at the number one wedding resource, The Knot, and now you've become this massive resource on your own. So, as a mentor, what was it like to scale your own audience from managing a few people on a marketing team to coaching thousands of people online?
It's kind of the evolution of media, right? Like I worked at a magazine where there was editors and you had to like give the wedding advice. And now people are looking for their own personalization of what the advice, the curated feed for them. And this has been such a incredible journey of also just trusting that you have something to say. I think when you spend a lot of time on social media, you can quickly fall into the loop of, well, everything's already been said, right? Like, oh, that advice has been said 18 different ways. And the the thing I always say when I'm coaching someone and they feel that way is that like all content is chicken. Like it just is. It's all chicken and you are just adding your own flavors and spices to the existing chicken, right? Like you want to be a productivity coach. Okay, you're going to teach people how to have more impact and spend less time doing something and build systems around it. Well, yeah, other people have talked about this, but for me, my flavors and spices of talking about productivity are, well, I was a single mom for 6 years with 3 kids, and I had a VC backed company during COVID, and I was, being a single mom and had my kids at home. Like those are all flavors and spices to my chicken that is productivity advice. And you will attract people who like your recipe. And if they don't like your recipe, they're going to like, if you are a 23-year-old tech bro looking to save time at work, I probably don't serve the chicken that you're looking for. And you're going to go find somebody else who serves probably the same kind of productivity content, but with a different recipe. And that's okay. And at the end of the day, when I started building kind of more and more content with my newsletter and the book, I realized that it's okay to attract the people that like your recipe. And when you start to let go of trying to be everything for everyone, you start to just kind of settle into where your place is in the world.
I love that analogy. I've never heard you mention that before. And I'm curious, of course, because, the medium is the message, as Marshall McLuhan says. Do you have a preference between where you share your advice as a coach, like writing a book versus a newsletter type thing?
I believe in long form content through and through. Social media has lost our ability for nuance and context and critical thinking. It's just how can I synthesize this long, like nuanced idea into 5 easy steps, which is usually not the case. And look, we all play the game on social media, but I try so hard to push people to my long form content, whether it's the newsletter or the book coming out in October, because that's where critical thinking happens. That's where nuance happens. And as a society, I think we have to keep seeking nuance.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing your career and how you've come to releasing the book now. When you think about people who you interact with, perhaps like with women who might be insecure or intimidated as you've become more successful, how have you navigated that dynamic?
It's weird. It's not something that I think I'm looking for, so I don't feel it. I think that's maybe the key there. When you are looking for people who are judging you, you will see it. And once you kind of look, I've done a lot of inner work. I've been in therapy for many years. I have done ketamine therapy. Like there's lots of different therapies that I've tried to come to a place where I don't have that radar going off all the time of like, are they judging me? What are they thinking? What are they thinking? And I'm coming from a place of the word is just like that is coming to mind right now. It's just like embodiment. I'm here. And if I'm coming from a place of, I want to help you, I want to learn about you, let's have a conversation. I think that energy does then translate to the other person to allow them to not be in their head about like, well, what's Amanda thinking? Or what is she judging me? Because I think that's, we get into this like judging standoff. And then we're both in our heads about something when in reality, if we can both just come from a place of like, no one's judging anyone, we're all here. It's that spotlight effect. We constantly think other people are thinking about us way more than they actually are. Everybody's in their own heads about their own stuff. And the great thing is like, no one's actually thinking about you that often or that much. And once you kind of like really rest in that, you can kind of like calm down in those social interactions and like, look, if someone doesn't like me and like, then I wasn't their cup of tea, and that's okay. Like there's many people that you may not want to like, I call them your like barbecue friends, right? Like do you want to invite them over for a barbecue? It's like, if not, that's okay. That's okay.
It's so funny. I wasn't expecting so many cooking analogies, but they
I know.
fit
And I
into
don't
our
cook.
world.
It's funny.
Yeah, neither do I. Well,
I love it.
your newsletter is called Life's a Game, and I'd say that social media is the biggest game out there. Can you share a tip from your new book, Toxic Grit, that could help us level up?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Specifically for social media, I want to just remind people that in the world of AI, knowing yourself and knowing your stories and owning your stories is a superpower. Storytelling is what sets people apart now. And the fact that like you can scroll LinkedIn today and see that was ChatGPT, that was ChatGPT. Like we are becoming trained and just completely numb to something that doesn't feel connected to the human behind it. So storytelling, if anything, like the takeaway you would have from this book is if somebody reads this, they're going to feel like they know me because I'm sharing all of the tools and the frameworks. It's a very tactical book, but wrapped in storytelling, which is just where people want to connect.
Well, I'm really excited about your book, Toxic Grit. It comes out on October 21st. And I feel compelled to mention that that overlaps with Kim Kardashian's birthday. So I feel like that's a pretty fun day for a book launch.
I didn't even think about that. So, fun fact, when I turned 30, I wrote on a piece of paper that I wanted to be a published author before I turned 40. I turned 40 at midnight on October 21st. I turned 40 on October 22nd. So my book comes out the day before. And I totally didn't think about the fact that it's Kim Kardashian's birthday before. Maybe she'll shout out the book. I don't know. I don't think I think she's pretty comfortable working really, really hard and not taking breaks.
Yeah, well, I think it's a great day. And of course, she became a billionaire. So it's a good day to have a book launch. And I'm really proud of everything that I did on the Kim Kardashian game. And I can sort of turn any conversation into a conversation about Kim. So I'm really excited for your book. I know that your audience will be as well.
Amazing. Well, listen, maybe she shouted out my last company. I woke up one day and every single Kardashian was posting about House of Wise. So maybe I can put some Kardashian energy into the universe and maybe she'll want to read a book on her birthday. We'll see.
Maybe let's start planning it now.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm excited for your book launch and everything that's next for you. So thanks again.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more interviews on Hot on the Street.